Ahem. Hemo. Hemo.
Here, give me the mic.
I can do it.
Hemochromatosis. Is too much iron in the body. I know what you're thinking, Jimmy. How can too much iron be bad? Doesn't iron make you strong? Unfortunately, not always. People with hemochromatosis absorb 2 to 3 times the normal amount of iron from the food they eat. Over the years, this excess iron builds up in the body, where it can damage vital organs. Sometimes this damage is severe enough that it can even be deadly. Hemochromatosis is the most common genetic disorder in Canada, yet too often is misdiagnosed. As many as 1 in 9 people could be carriers of HHC. Let's give you an idea of how many people that is. If you were walking down the street with 180 people, as many as 20 could be carriers.
Hemochromatosis is more prevalent in the Northern European Caucasian population, but other populations are starting to become at risk as well, though much more minimal.
It is estimated that at least 1 in 300 Canadians have the genetic makeup necessary to develop HHC. That means that about 100,000 people in Canada currently have hemochromatosis. I'll bet you're wondering how this might affect your family, Jimmy. Typically, if 2 carriers have 4 children, 1 of these children will have both genes, 2 will each have 1 of the genes, and 1 will not carry either gene.
We have 2 copies of all our genes, so if the father has 1 gene, hemochromatosis gene, and he's a carrier, and the mother has 1 hemochromatosis gene and she's a carrier, then if they come together and have children, then there's a possibility that a child will inherit both abnormal copies from each parent.
So, Jimmy, I'm sure by now you're wondering how too much iron causes a problem. The average person has about 4 grams of iron circulating throughout their body. However, someone with hemochromatosis can have anywhere from 15 grams to 60 grams. Since blood can only hold so much, the excess iron is stored in other places, like organs, that are not necessarily designed to hold it. This is when the trouble begins. One of the main organs affected is the liver. Symptoms include enlargement, inflammation, internal hemorrhaging and scarring, which can lead to cirrhosis, hepatitis A, and in severe cases, cancer. A damaged pancreas can lead to diabetes. The heart is weakened and can result in a heart murmur, arrhythmia, which is an irregular heartbeat, and cardiomyopathy, which is a disease of the heart muscle. More than half of patients with hemochromatosis will develop arthritis in the joints, especially the first 2 knuckles of the hand. If the brain is affected, symptoms include memory loss and mood disorders. The iron in the pituitary gland causes loss of libido, premature menopause, and loss of body hair. Other symptoms to be aware of are sudden weight gain or loss, fatigue, or skin discoloration, such as bronzing, like a good tan, or conversely slate gray. It's important to remember that symptoms can vary widely depending on the person.